Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Kim and my channel is Kim Can't Stop Crafting. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and hit subscribe and come back. I do free tutorials, I do project shares, some haul videos, so that you don't miss anything, go ahead and select the bell so that you can get notified when I have a new video up. I'm combining two different collections today for Country Craft Creations. My design team kit this month was the Yankee Doodle by Echo Park, and I also had some of the All-American paper by Country Craft Creations that I'm using and I'm combining them to show you how you can mix and match collections. And one of them is more of a cutesy collection and the other one is a more vintage looking one. So using them together, you can see how I kind of pulled it together so it does not look so cutesy. It's got that vintage feel. So everything that I have used here is from Country Craft Creations. Now, some of it might have been from the barn sale. So I know like the Tim Holtz portrait here, I believe that was from the barn sale. So I'm not sure if she still has any left, but it is a Tim Holtz collection. And I did get some chipboard pieces that were Tim Holtz also, and that was in the barn sale. I have some of these clear acrylic flat back embellishments. So they did come in different colors. Red and a gold color and a light blue. Not sure if she still has any of those left, but these are all things that I have bought from or purchased from the store, but I use them all the time. She has buttons that I used. This was actually from might have been from a retreat, these buttons, the 28 Lilac Lane. Anyway, so I'm going to walk through the process of how I made this tag. When I did this, I didn't want it to be too gaudy and I didn't want it to be boring. So I tried to have a happy medium. Now on the back, I always decorate the back of my tags. And so I just did something flat. Okay. Everything that I did or used paper-wise was inked, and I used some ink from Prima, which she used to carry, but now there is the Catherine Pooler inks that you might want to try for edging your papers. So I don't have the same exact portrait and I don't have the same exact saying, but I'm going to try and recreate the tag with you today just to kind of show you. Sometimes it's easier to see the steps when you look at a tag or when you look at anything, so that it makes more sense to you how it came to be. So this is the original that I'm going to be using as my template kind of. So the first thing I did was I got some chipboard. I like to do my tags on chipboard because they're a lot more sturdy and durable, and I can use them year to year if I'm going to use them as decoration. So this is chipboard. It is a 4" by 8.5" piece of chipboard, and you can see that I did go around the edges and inked front and back and on the sides. Okay, so I did that first. I'm going to go ahead and do the back of the tag first. And so I've already pre-cut my pieces, and I'll let you know. Let's see if I have. Let's see. Let me get the sticker sheet. So this is the first collection. This is the one that is currently in the store for 4th of July, Independence Day. It's the Echo Park collection, and it's called Yankee Doodle. And most of the papers, I think all of the papers except for some embellishments, came from this collection, okay? So I'll let you know when it's something that came from the All-American. So the first thing was I want my back papers to be a little bit smaller than the front, or the chipboard, and so I went 1/8 of an inch smaller. So instead of 4 inches, these are 3 7/8. This piece is 6 inches. Then I chose this from the Yankee Doodle, 3 7/8, and this one is about 2 1/4 inches. And then on the back of the stars, we have that plaid, and so I just cut a strip that I'm going to put here in the center. I went through the ephemera from the collection, and I tried to find ones that looked a little bit more vintagey and not so cutesy. And the one I came up with is God Bless America. Now on the other one, you can see that I kind of put it above. I don't think that looks right with this one, so I might put it down here. I don't know. I'll just kind of have to see. Now, for some weird reason, the adhesive that I like to use for the base of my tags is a glue stick. Now, why? I have no idea, because the art glitter glue works too. I just think it kind of gives it a more firm hold or something. I don't know. maybe I'm just crazy. It's just because this is what I used to use in the very beginning. And so I kind of am a creature of habit sometimes, and I think that's why. But it gives you some time to move things around. But you can use art glitter glue. You can use your score tape. It's whatever works for you. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure I have the same amount of border on all the sides here. And then I press down. And I'm going to burnish. And this has a real nice firm hold. So then I'm going to go ahead and do my stars. Place that at the bottom, about the same distance as the top. So you'll notice there is a little bit of a space here. Isn't that weird that I used just a glue stick for this? Just tags, that's it. So weird. And I don't even really like glue sticks. They're a pain. Look at how I have to hold the paper like this because I don't want glue all over. All right. And I want to make sure that they line up side to side as with the red one. And notice I have not put a hole in my chipboard yet. It's much easier to put the paper on first and then go back and put your hole for your ribbon. And then I'm just going to center that between the two. Just make sure you get the edges so it lays down flat. And again, center that. I always put something on the back. It's not, to me, it's not finished if we don't. So I'm trying to decide if I should put that there, all the way down at the bottom, a little bit at the top, sideways. Kind of like that. I mean, it reminds me of a flag kind of blowing in the wind. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to start on the front. Now I have already inked everything just to save time for you guys, so you don't have to watch me ink. And you might want to cut out a star or something and put it up here. Okay. So I'm trying to mimic this one as close as I can. I don't have the same, remember, the same portrait or the same saying. And this USA came from one of the cut-aparts. Let's see if I can find it. Where did I put it? Oh. So the Yankee Doodle collection comes with cut-aparts, and one of the 4x6s had USA written 3 times, one in blue, one in red, and one in white. So I just cut out the letters USA. Now, I used the blue on this one, so I have the red and the white left, but you'll see that when I start working on the tag, it just doesn't stand out like it's supposed to, so I had to come up with a plan B, okay? All right, so the first thing then is the coordinating papers that go with the Echo Park Yankee Doodle. I'm going to start with a white, and this is 3 7/8 by 8 3/8. And I'm putting the white down first. And then on this, I just kind of go around the edges, not the inside, because I put the adhesive on the chipboard. And when you're working with the glue stick, it kind of gives it some time to settle before I put it down. And it seems to get a little bit more tacky or sticky when I do that. I don't know. It could be all in my head too. I don't know. But like I said, it's a pain using it because I can't lay it down flat, because then I get glue everywhere from the glue stick. Okay, now I can move it. See, I can move it a little bit to line it up better. And then I'm going to place blue next. And again, that's from the coordinating papers from the Yankee Doodle collection. And I wanted it to be 1/4 of an inch smaller, not an 1/8, so that you could see it more. So this is actually 3 5/8 by 8 1/8, I think. Okay, so I just kind of lay it down, make sure I like the way that looks. And I don't think I cut that, it's too long. That looks a little bit better. So let me re-ink this. I always do a dry fit, always, because I make mistakes in my measuring all the time. Okay. Go ahead and center this so that it's the same on all 4 sides or close. You can move this a little bit. That's why the art glitter glue is good also, because you have time to adjust it. Whereas score tape, not so giving. And then this is from the Yankee Doodle collection, and that's gonna go next. I don't like that. I gotta cut it shorter. I want to see more of the blue at the bottom. Okay, that's good. So what did I end up cutting this one? This one is about 7 3/4. Okay. I used to make tags all the time. And to me, I would rather make a tag than a card, but use it as a card. And you can put a pocket on the back, and that's where you can put in a sentiment. But I just like the looks of tags. I don't know. And good enough. So you can see that it has a vintage feel now that I inked it, whereas before it's very bright, like the white is bright. This one is probably not all the way white. It's got some cream to it. But you can see it's more Americana, cutesy, but I'm using it in a more vintage way. Okay, so next, the portrait that I'm using is this one. So I tried to pick one that was about the same size. And so I took from the collection, this is from the Yankee Doodle, I cut out the stripes and the stars, and I still want to see the red down at the bottom. So I'm going to lift it up a little bit, and it goes like so. And then I'm going to rest him on top. Okay, now when I glue him down, I'm going to leave the, I'm just going to put glue at the bottom to start with, because I'm going to tuck a couple things underneath. Okay, give me the glue. I'm tired of this glue stick. So this goes down first. This can go all the way down because I'm not tucking anything behind this piece. And I want to see a little bit of the red and white stripe underneath. Okay, and this should be about the same size. So I measured the bottom of the portrait, the bust, and that's how I determined the width of the paper. And so again, I'm just going to put glue on the very bottom to keep him in place. You can use repositional tape also if you want. So just at the bottom so that I can tuck some things underneath. Okay, so I'll put the buttons and stuff on last, the 3D stuff last. So on the All-American paper from Country Craft Creation, it's their line of paper. I took out their cutouts, their cut-aparts. And so the ones, there were tickets down here, and there were 2 of them that said Liberty. So they don't look the same, but they both say Liberty. So I used that one, and I already inked it. There were flags up here at the top. Now one was facing one direction and one was facing the other. So that's going to make a difference on my second one here, because the second one that I cut out faces the opposite direction. So I have to decide, do I want it like that or do I want it like this? See, I don't know. I'll have to play around with it to see. And then on the All-American paper down here, there were 2 blue stars. So you can see I have one here, and I'll add one to the other one also. Okay. So next I will go ahead and do the star, the liberty, and the flag. So here's what I have to decide. Do I want it like this? Or do I want it like this? I think I want it like that, where it's coming off the side like that. And so I'll still do the liberty over here and the star. Yeah, I'll do it like that. So I'll put glue on here. I'm not going to put it at the very tip though, because that probably will be hanging off the tag. So, oopsie. So I'm going to lift him up. And I have to remember I'm going to be putting the USA on here. So you have to leave room for that. Okay, and now I'm going to tuck the Liberty ticket underneath. So I just put glue on part of it. Like so. I don't know if I put enough glue. And now the star, I'm going to, might tuck it underneath of him a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. And of course this took me no time on camera because I did a lot of prep outside, doing the fussy cutting, the inking. You know, I don't want to cover up the word Liberty. Okay. All right, so the next part was my dilemma. So let me show you why. So because there's red and white paper as the top here, and I already used the blue letters, I cut out the red, and when I lay it out, to me it gets washed out. And I'll probably do it that direction, okay? To me, you don't see that very well. So then I cut out the white, and I laid that out, and I think it's probably better than the red, but I still don't like it. So I thought, how can I add color? So then I thought, well, maybe I need to layer the red and the white together, but to me it still gets washed out. So what I came up with, or what I think I'm gonna do, is I had some of my glitter paper left from my design team. This is the, oh, what do you call it? Don't tell me. It's by Tonic, okay? And I had some circles cut out from something, and so I thought, well, what if I put that glitter paper behind it? Would that help? Where's my other one? Right here. But again, I have to be aware I'm going to put a hole in here, so I got to make sure I remember that. So then USA. Do I want to do it like that? Do I want to go up like I did on the other one? Do I want red instead? Maybe I need to have it hang off a little bit. USA. Ooh, decisions. Do I want, maybe I want both letter colors. Maybe I like that. Or do I want red in the middle and white on the outsides? No, I think I like the red on the outside and a white in the inside. I hope that doesn't look dumb. Oh, USA. I kind of like that. So I'm going to use the glitter paper. So I have another USA. I'm going to use the glitter paper behind it, but I have to be very aware of where I place it. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and put the hole now so I don't forget, so it doesn't become a problem. So my tag is 4 inches, so I need to center the hole at 2 inches. So I'm just going to use my big old bot here, and let me make a tick mark at 2 inches so I don't screw up. Then I'll go back and erase it. Okay. Let's see, where's that tick mark? Okay, that will help me so I don't accidentally cover up the area that I need for this ribbon. Okay, so letters next. So now, do I want them like that? U, S. No, I need to go up. Okay. So I kind of need to lay them out first so I get them in the right spot. I should have, you know, can I lift that? Nope. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. See what happens. So put glue on the circle parts. And again, this is just because it blended in too much with the paper. Otherwise I would have left just the blue. And it's okay that these don't line up. The letters will. I hope. I better lay this out first. I think it needs to be like that. Or, sorry this is taking me so long, but I want to do it right. Straight up and down. Oh, I think it needs to be tilted. Yeah, I'll tilt it. Okay. Come on, glue. So I'm going to tilt it. And then we have some 3D things that we need to take care of after that. U, S, and then the A. Okay, it's down, so I'm not changing my mind now. Okay, so next I have the acrylic pieces. I used 3 of them, and these are in the clear. So I use odd amounts. So I lay them out first to see where I think they go. Okay, so I'm just going to put a dot of glue on the spot where I want it and lay that down so it can dry, and it'll dry clear. Okay. So now my next dilemma, let me get the glue. No, I'll do the, pick out my 3 buttons. I like them to be 3 different sizes, but I want them to be pretty much the same color. Are those the 3 same color? I have enough to choose from, so let me double check. I'm gonna go that way. Okay. Put the extras back in here. This one bottle also has like sequins in it and little seed beads. Okay. So before I glue these down, I need to work with what my issue is. Oh shoot, I just bent my pin. Time for a new pin. Hold on. For Pete's sake. My pin is stuck. Hold on. Okay. Now I don't know where it went, but I need a new pin. Okay. Where did that little piece go? I don't want to stick myself. It'll show up. Okay. So the next one thing that I need is one of the small flowers here from the Prima collection that I used on my last project. And I'll have to cut that. I want a little bit of a stem so I can tie a bow around it. See how I tied a bow around that? So that'll go here, and I'll get some twine, and the hardest part for me is tying the bow around it. And I found out it's easier if I cut the piece first and cut it too long. My hands just, I don't know if they're too big or what. Okay, so now I gotta make a little bow. And then I'll have to adjust the size. Oh, come on. Oopsie. Nope, gotta try it again. Bow. I don't do it. Some people like do 2 bows, like rabbit ears or something. I've never learned to tie that way. Oh my gosh. Oh, I had it. Oh, shoot, I lost it. Okay, 3rd time's a charm. Is it making you guys tense watching me do this? It's making me tense. My hands are just too big. Okay. 3rd time was a charm. Okay, so now I got to pull this piece through. Don't go out. Tighten it, and then so you tighten and adjust each time. So to me the bows are still too big, so I'm going to pull the straight part. And then I tighten it again. And to me, that should be okay. Okay, so I do not have Be Brave. I have Remember the Now and Creativity Takes Courage. So do I cut out the word courage and put that there? Do I cut out Remember the Courage? Remember, that might be too much. Remember the courage. Remember, just remember courage. Remember the courage. Or just courage. Remember the courage. Remember courage. Ooh, well, I know I'm going to use courage, so let me cut that out. And I'll ink that. And see, it gets lost. It's too little. Remember courage. Remember, I'm going to do remember the. I don't know if that makes sense to everybody, but I'll do it because I need it. So remember the courage. Remember the courage. Once it's down, it's not moving. So once I make up my mind, I better like it. Maybe I need the flower on this side. That looks weird to me. Maybe it needs to go like that. How about that? That's what I'm gonna do. That is what I decided last minute. Okay. Remember the courage. I hope that sounds right. And then I'll put the courage down next, and then I'll do the flower last. It takes a while to dry. Okay. All right, so now I'll glue my buttons on. And I just use the art glitter glue, and it works on the buttons. Okay, what am I forgetting? Is that it? Just the string, the ribbon, I mean. Okay, so let me glue this down, and then I have to leave it alone so it dries. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it alone, don't touch it. Okay, last thing. Oh, I didn't put the lid on my glue. I have some different ribbons from the Country Craft Creations. So I have this blue, and I just need, it's a thin one, so that's good because I don't have really a lot of that color. This I tie up here, so I'll cut a piece of that out. I'd rather it be too big than too small. I have this, so let's see, about this much I want. And about that much. And then I do have some navy seam binding. The store has any color seam binding you need. And I do want to scrunch it up and kind of give it some aged look. So I just spray some water on it. Wrap it up in my hand here. And if you don't want the ends to fray, you can knot it, but I can't do that until I put it through the hole because it's not big enough. I could do one end, but not both. So I'll do one end. Okay, so I'm going to line these up and then adjust it once they get through the hole. So I'm just going to put them down, and I just kind of wrap them inside of that red one. And it needs to be tiny to get through that little hole. Voila. Okay, so now I need to even them out. And then I'll trim that red one because it got a little icky. Okay, is that about even? Okay, now I can tie the end of this one. Okay, and now I'm going to get my jute or my twine here, and I want all these put that underneath all of them and tie it tight. So I gotta pull these up so it doesn't get messy looking. And I want a bow. Oh. And then again, pull on it until you like the size of the little round parts. Ooh. All right, there we go. So different yet the same. Let me get rid of this board. And there we go. Those would be great for decorative, like if you have pictures in your house, maybe lean one of these up against the picture. Just use them as a decorating element. So I have a couple more, I might make a couple more tags, but this time try and change it up and use, instead of the portrait, just use the regular paper dolls. So I'll do that. All right, go ahead and use your extras. Get the check out Country Craft Creations. I'll try and link the materials I use down below so it's easy for you to find. And again, some of them were from the barn sale, so I don't know if they still have those things. But thank you for coming to my channel, and happy crafting.